Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now, I know last week I've done the whole Kakashi and the whole segment of how the what if theory of what if Kakashi basically would have turned evil and whatnot. Now here's part two to the what if story, that what if Kakashi would have decided to turn heel. So here is the theory. My theory is that, okay, so let's say if like Kakashi did the whole thing with the whole Konami Bridge, saved Obito, Madara would have took Kakashi under his wing, and he done everything. But this time, it was a twist where basically Madara had Kakashi infiltrate the Leaf Village, more like how in Marvel Comics, how the whole everything is different, like either Captain America's mind somehow was like changed, so it's like now he's working with the Red Skull, but it's all because of the whole Cosmic Cube type thing. But instead of that, but what if that Madara had Kakashi have him be like a secret agent, so he's like, okay, he fixed him up, and he was like, okay, I fixed you up, I give you my Sharingan, and he goes back to the Leaf Village. So you see everybody like trying to like mourn his death, and next thing you know, a couple of days later, he shows up at the Leaf Village. So obviously, they would suspect him and be like, wait, you're alive. Like, oh my god, everybody, Mike Ga, Obito, Rin, well, not Rin, but Mike Ga and Obito, and all the people in the Leaf Village, like, who was like kind of like close to him. So they're like, yeah, Kakashi, you back. Oh my god, yeah, you back and whatnot. So everybody's like, wondering like what happened, how did he survive? Mainly Obito, like, how did he survive that? So at this moment, Kakashi is silently pissed off at Obito. So it's like he still keep up his infiltration, but he's like, yeah, like I survived and whatnot. And then he basically is like telling them like, oh, it was this like how he got out was basically something about like it was this water that he drunk, and he basically was saved by this old hermit. And he would probably say like this hermit gave him some sort of water, he fixed him up with special type of chakras and medical healing and whatnot, and then he would just give him like a false name or whatever. And then everybody's in the village is like, wow, like you're back and this and that. And only one person I would say who would probably like suspect it for just maybe like a hot second would be Danzo, because Danzo was basically like with the Amble and whatnot. So it's like, they'd be like, I don't know, he looks slightly a little different, but after when they get they whole like a little interrogation out of him or whatever, and he passes like their testing and whatnot, then they're probably just like let him go, or they probably won't even approach him at all. But in his plans of trying to like destroy the Leaf Village and obtain like the Nine Tails, he would basically would be like, okay, he would do out every single plan like how Obito carried out Madara's plan, but it would be so sick because Kakashi would do everything in secret, and nobody wouldn't know that Kakashi is a double agent for Madara. So it's like during his time in the Leaf Village, like he spent like both times, like he's in and out of the Leaf Village. So it's like he's building up his plans. So he makes his whole Akatsuki, he makes that on his off time, or whenever like he's not really doing anything, he's like kind of like in and out of the village. So he's like doing that, and he's building up his Akatsuki in secret, and he's like trying to like plan out what he's gonna do and whatnot. And he has like the help of Zetsu and everybody else who's actually there in the Akatsuki. So it's like Kakashi is basically a one-man show. He is a one-man show, fooling and deceiving everybody. So it's like Kakashi would probably be being Ambu Black Ops mostly, because it's like they're dark and they're cover-ups and whatnot. you know, and how they carry out certain things that most ninjas in the villages won't carry out. So he'd basically be doing ambu because he wouldn't, he can't stand Obito, so it's like he wouldn't try to like be like there with him, like at training like the younger ninjas. It's like, no, he doesn't even really care for that. He's just pissed off. He's enraged. So he has Obito carry that out, and him and Obito, like, they, like, Kakashi keeps it up. Like, I would say this, I wouldn't even say like they barely talk. That you could say that, like, I could say that they barely talk, but it's like Kakashi keeps it up. So he's like, yeah, he's pretending to be all friendly with him, goody with him. You know, he's just pretending to be friends with him and whatnot. But secretly, he just want to put a lightning blade in his heart, you know, because after what he did. So he would sit there, build up everything up to this point where, like, I would say, like, during, like, the Pain saga, when Pain showed up and tried to, like, destroy the whole Leaf Village and everything else, Kakashi would have never been there. That would have been the thing. Kakashi would have never been there. Like, he would have been there for, like, a little bit, but then would have just left. He would have just left, and then people would have been like, yo, where's Kakashi? Where he went at and whatnot? And then, and two, when, you know, obviously, like, Naruto would have made Nagato bring back everybody who have ever died in the Leaf Village, you know, Kakashi is basically at the part, he's at, what would you call it, like, Ren's grave. Everybody's being resurrected, but he's just there. He's just there, and the pouring rain just looking at Ren's grave and whatnot. And, that's when like he'll come back to seeing Obito, and then Obito would be like, oh yeah, like, you know, the war was crazy and this and that with the whole Kakashi and Pain and this and that. So, you know, Kakashi would just be secretly pissed off, like, yeah, right, like that. And two, it leads up to like the big stage in the fight where he basically just he just gets not even compromised, but only person that would know, only person that would truly have known what was going on with well, actually no, two people would have only known what Kakashi's true plans was Kabuto and Danzo. Kabuto and Danzo would have been the only two people that would have known what Kakashi was basically doing. But Danzo would have died because obviously Sasuke would have killed him. But he wouldn't have had the chance to say anything because obviously Sasuke was still enraged after everything. So he basically would have killed him. And then when the war would have started up, that's when Kabuto would have like noticed something. He's like, oh, like, you know, I know that you're him and this and that. Actually, no, scratch the entire thing. No, it would have just went the same way. When Kizame first met Obito, and that's when Obito like took off his mask, and that's when he's like, oh, like, you're him and this and that. But I think Kizame didn't really know. No, he didn't know that was like Madara. He thought that was probably Madara, but no, it was just like oh, like, you're him. But it was like, no. So it would probably just go. It'd just be the same thing, like, you know, Kakashi takes off his mask, and he'd be like, oh, he'd probably still think the same way, like, oh, like, you're him, or you're either some sort, like, you related to him or in some sort of way because of the Sharingan that he has. And two, eventually he would have came along and killed Conan, and then went over to Nagato's body and took the Rinnegan from him. And then that's when, oh my god, Kakashi summoning the Gedo statue, and he's tearing it up and whatnot. And freak that, I wouldn't even go even as far to say that, well, he would probably be able to like use like the paths, like, yeah, he would be able to like to use like the 6 paths and all of that stuff, but it wouldn't be as him summoning, like, well, maybe, like, I would probably say that Kakashi probably would be able to summon a meteor, probably, because he did have the Kamui, and he was able to like to him during the war, he was able to like go into the dimension and leave out the dimension. So I'm like, wait, I was thinking, I said, yeah, it could be a possibility that Kakashi probably might be able to summon the meteor, but because his chakra levels is somewhat alright, but it would probably drain like a lot of his chakra, but I think it would be possible. It would probably be possible for him to like summon a meteor, probably. But if not, then he'd sit there and probably do majestic fireball jutsus, possibly. You know, some of that crazy stuff that Madara is doing. Some of it, you know. And yeah, it's just that like towards the end, that's when Kakashi would have just took off his mask. Like Naruto would have never destroyed his mask. It would have been Kakashi. Kakashi would have been the one to have like taken off his mask, and then he would have been like, "You want to know who I am?" The one person that infiltrated the entire Leaf Village, compromised everything, gave out secrets and plans to take down the Leaf Village, and how the Akatsuki and how the Pains got into the Leaf Village, and how everything was compromised was because of Kakashi Hatake. And he takes off the mask and whatnot, and he freaking stares Obito in the eyes, and he tells him that I want you dead. I never liked you ever since that you let Rin die. He would have been saying the same thing, like, you let Rin die, you killed her, this and that, this is your fault and whatnot. Then Obito's just sitting there crying in tears, like, Kakashi, why all these years, why? And he was like, I was a double agent, I was working under the name Madara and whatnot. Yo, oh my god, like, it would have just been so sick. It would have been just like the whole Captain America story and freaking Marvel, but it would have been just so sick. Like, Kakashi, a double agent, a freaking double agent on the Akatsuki and on the freaking Madara tip and whatnot. Oh my god, it would have been just so sick for Kakashi to have been like a double agent. I mean, it would have been sick because he's like the cold-blooded assassin type ninja who would have done some shit like that. Like, I personally felt he would have done some shit like that. But yeah. So if you like what you heard, and you heard what you like in this crazy story, please subscribe, share, do all of that wonderful stuff, and I'll catch you later.